Only one. Yeah, I guess I would say get ready for the time of your life. There's never a boring day.
Yeah.
I guess I would say don't go into it blindly. So
Okay.
obviously I had a lot of experiences. I knew that this is what I wanted to do. Sometimes I see on these Facebook groups, we just bought a bowling center and we've never owned a bowling center before.
Yeah.
I think, oh boy, we could
Right.
probably talk on the phone for the next 4 months consecutively and still not fill the gaps. I would say try to educate yourself as much as possible going into it, because it's like an onion. There are a lot of layers in a bowling center. It's not just as simple as setting the pins up, knocking them down, and it's 350 a game or whatever it might be. There's a lot going on. You really need to know your community. You need to understand the people that are going to be visiting your center. You need to understand the staffing requirements. You need to understand the dynamic of your center. So again, some people have a traditional bowling center. It might just be 24 lanes. Done. We have an 18-lane center with a kitchen, arcade that's relatively large. We're looking to expand it. I think we've got a little over 50 pieces right now. Some billiards tables, but it doesn't really fit with what we do. So again, I think we're looking to get some duck pin bowling in. You need to understand your center too and what you can do with it. But yeah, that would be my one piece of advice is just don't, oh, this is great, let's own a bowling center, and you really need to understand the layers and what goes into it. Maybe educate yourself a little bit beforehand. And then definitely once you're up and running, continue with that education. Don't lock yourself in your office or get stuck working the counter where you can't grow. I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. I even have a sign hanging up: don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. You've got to pull yourself away from the day-to-day parts of it so that you can help expand the business and expand yourself. Some people, they get locked into working the counter. I can't possibly go to Bowl Expo. Who's going to run the bowling center for me? There's already a problem if you can't. So there's already an issue that maybe had you done a little bit more research. And so I would say education is key before and then during, and then once you're into it, just constantly, if you can make good connections with other proprietors and managers, if they're sharing information from you, they know what they're doing. If they're not sharing, then nobody's really competing with each other. We're all here to grow the sport of bowling. You sent me an email asking me to come on the podcast. You said sharing is caring, and I totally agree. I just think the more we can help each other out, the more we can help people, the more we can help the sport of bowling, and the better off we all are. So just education is key, whether it's your staff, whether it's yourself, whether it's your customers. Education is one of the top things. When we're making decisions here in a bowling center, we're thinking about education, right? How do we build up our employees? How do I improve myself? But then we want to educate our customers too. If you educate the customers about bowling and the sport, it's a win-win for everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if I could have put it better myself. I've really enjoyed our conversation. Like I said, education is really critical.
It's important.
It's the only way.
Yeah, it's important. And again, we can learn so much from each other. People are doing such different things from West Coast to East Coast, and it's something works here, but it's never been done here. And certainly there are certain things that maybe will only work regionally in certain areas, but pull yourself outside of your scope of knowledge. So you might know what the 8 centers around you are doing, but what are the other 8 doing in the next state or on the other side of the country? There's just a wealth of information there. And again, that's why I like what Bart Berger and Gerald and Kelly and them are doing. They're collecting that information. They're disseminating that information. You don't have to drive to California or to Seattle or wherever to sit down and talk to a proprietor. You can do a Zoom call, and there are so many people out there willing to share their knowledge and expertise and help people out. You just have to know where to get it. You just have to reach out and be willing and open to listen.
Hey, did you like this video? Great. We make 5 of them a week. Subscribe to get more and to keep learning about what's working in the bowling industry. I'll talk to you then.